welcome to the look ahead. We're back.
Yay, we're back, baby.
It's been a while.
International travel over, and we're back on home turf. I have just been thinking, just as we're getting the intro started, I'm going, the last two shows we didn't have Mark and we won.
Yeah. Sorry, like.
Go now, quickly.
If it is, then you're banned. Yeah. So if we lose on Sunday, you're away.
It'd be for a worthy cause.
Yeah.
So obviously, what we're going to do is we're going to have a bit of a discussion. We can't really not discuss the mountain stories about McTominay, just because there's just so much noise about that. We're also then going to look at obviously top four chances, because the last two results seem like go in our favour, and is this are we going to maybe have that push? But we've got to face quite a few of the big sides at home, and I sometimes think that can be the benefit. We've still got Spurs, we've still got Arsenal, obviously Man U. It's fairly decent in that aspect. And then obviously we're then going to finish by the usual and looking ahead to the game on Sunday. The redemption game.
The revenge.
So I did put McTominay in that. But the decision which I'm going to look at is it really McTominay or could it be McTominay? And we'll go, Mark, what's your thoughts? Because we know how vocal you are on new signings there. So
I've never been a gobshite. I don't want him. But I mean, a big question mark for me is going to be the price tag. Like, there's been numbers bandied around of 40 million quid, north of 40 million, which just seems crazy, like absolutely crazy. I think if he's the sort of player where if you picked him up for 20 million quid or something like that, and as a squad player, you'd be like, yep, fine, no problem with that. But the numbers that have been bandied around are a little crazy, I think. And the other thing is, I think we probably need to bolster the first team, like starting 11 options more than looking for squad players. And if you believe our budget's as tight as our owners keep telling us that it is, as much as that is going to open up with new sponsorships next season, it's still going to be constrained somewhat. Then you haven't really got money to waste. So squad players, I'm like, I'd rather we were bolstering the first team. Now maybe Howe does see him as a first team player, which would be interesting, I suppose. But for me, I don't think he's a particularly great number 6. One thing I've noticed with him, I mean, he seems to be a bit immobile in the sense of when he's playing in the 6 and the ball goes back to the centre halves for Man U, and if he's playing the 6 role, he almost stands still, and like pressing teams just block off those passing lanes so easily, and he's not moving around enough to try and create a pass for the defence. I think that puts a bit of pressure on the back four. So I don't think he'd I mean, obviously, you could coach that into him maybe to a degree, but you can't tell me that Man United haven't worked that out as well. So, he's not one for me, unfortunately. I don't.
Well, Eddie Howe's coached goals into Joe Linton.
I suppose to a degree, but it's it'd be interesting. I think he's a better, and Miggy. I think he's a better number 8, which he's kind of proven in the past week with Scotland. But we've already kind of got plenty of number 8s. It's the one position in midfield we don't really need any more of. My take on this, and I could be wrong, my take on this is he's our midfield target if we drop out of the European places. And I think if we get into the European places, we'll be going for a higher caliber of player. Whether that's, I think Howe probably really, really wants him. But I think if we make the European places, he might get sort of overruled and go, look, we need a higher caliber of player. This is what we're going to do. You look at the spine of our team, Botman, Isak and Bruno, none of them had Premier League experience when they came in, and they're probably going to be the future of the club. So I think to a certain degree, Howe might have to be overruled on these kind of things, but that's just me pontificating.
Well, especially if he wants to give Paul Dummett a contract extension. Is it a coincidence that since he's been linked with Newcastle, Scott McTominay seems to be on some sort of a goal scoring run? Like, you just look at Scotland games, like, oh, McTominay scored again. I'm like, gee, great.
Yeah. I mean, thing is, what I want to know is when did
Inside
this
on Tuesday.
Sorry, say that again.
I was, and to be honest, he scored 2 against a decent side on Tuesday.
True.
And one of the goals was sort of an assist by another player who would be linked with Tierney.
Yeah.
The second goal was tidy, really tidy against Spain.
Yeah.
I will say the pace that Tierney had, though.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal footballer. I rate him so highly. Always
if we could get him at a realistically cheap price, given his injury things, I think he could be a really good sign. You imagine having Tierney and Trippier, as your fullbacks.
This might be a bit hyperbolic. I honestly think he's one of the best left backs in the Premier League, which sounds crazy because it's like Zinchenko's keeping him out of the team at the moment. But it's like Zinchenko's style of play probably just fits a bit more how Arsenal look to play their game. And Tierney's just, unfortunately for him, the injuries, well documented.
Yeah. What I was going to say was about McTominay is, what is it about this when a club's going to get wise to this 20% Manchester United tax that, because like we've been saying, if he was 25 million, we'd all be going, yeah, I can see that, but 40 million plus, I mean, no, just because he plays for Manchester United. I mean, the thing is, everyone's saying about Man United's revival because Ronaldo went. I don't think McTominay has played very much since they went on that run neither, has he? Since they stopped putting him and Fred together. That Civ-like thing they had about letting goals in, Brentford, for example, that all disappeared, didn't it? So a decent price, he would be a good squad player. But like Matt, I agree completely as usual with Mark. He just, I think if we get into the Champions League, then I mean, he's, my chant will be, are you Longstaff in disguise? Because I don't rate him any higher than I would,
But McTominay does play in the Champions League, and he has played in that. So you can look at that in that sense of, you're bringing someone in who would have that. He's also a cup winner, unfortunately.
Yeah.
To look at. But Amber has brought up a good point, which says club will need to do some wheeling and dealing this summer with transfers, with a number of players out of contract, need to deepen the depths of the squad and upgrade a number of positions. There is that, and it says, because if you look at it, Fraser's on his way out. Matt Ritchie will probably be on his way out. Yeah, Isaac Hayden, Kieran Clark, Jeff Hendrick, those sort of players will probably be on the way out. I also wouldn't be surprised if St. Maximin was on his way out in the summer, because I just don't think he's an Eddie Howe player.
The trust isn't there.
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty obvious to everybody, isn't it? So, but I mean, the thing is, you got Tielemans, who would cost us nothing as far as I know, if you could get him. I mean, that's the sort of wheeling dealing that that comment is exactly about. Maybe that would be a better option for now.
And then Marcus Thuram is another option who's going to be on a free.
Yeah.
So you boosted your front line, you boosted your midfield, and you haven't spent anything in terms of transfer fees.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. And
then we can go for look at a Diaby and then Maddison.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe Tierney. Yeah. So if you look at that,
I'm in dreamland now. You're gonna have to calm me down, because that's a hell of a transfer window. If you get 80% of that,
that is what now you're talking. I mean, that's the thing. McTominay just doesn't make us go.
Well, this is the thing.
Wow,
40 million for McTominay. For that price, you're probably likely to get James Maddison in the summer, because he'll have 1 year left on his contract. So it's say, well, I'm not being funny, but I'd rather have James Maddison in that sense.
All day long, yeah.
And I that goes with a caveat. We know that they're both completely different footballers, but I mean, it doesn't change the point that it's money well spent versus money poorly spent, isn't it? With one transfer.
But you could then also look at it and think, you imagine having a lineup where you've got basically Tierney and Diaby on your left side. You've got Trippier and Gordon or Miggy, just to keep Mark happy, on your right-hand side. both your full-backs are capable of overlapping, so that if you want to get it to them and then cross from like the byline, you've got that option.
Yeah.
And then look at your three midfield, where you'd have Tielemans, Bruno, and Madison.
Yeah, so I'll tell that right now. Thank you very much. Thank
exactly.
you.
And you're looking at that and you're
Let's
going,
shake on it.
Let's have
That'll
a look.
Do me. That'll do me.
And I'm just trying to work on the maths aspect in terms of the finances. 30 million for Tierney, maybe.
Yeah, I think that'll probably be around about the price.
Yeah,
they'll be they paid I think 25 for him.
Yeah, and then maybe like 30. I'd actually say 30 million for Madison. Actually, realistically, so that's your 60. DRB another 60, 120 million, plus your two free signings in Tielemans and Marcus Thuram.
Yeah,
and that's 120 million spent.
Yeah,
but you could then have, let's say, got 40 million in, like, let's say, selling a Cardolo and a Xavi Manquillo and Maxi and that. So yeah,
and the 15 million we'll get for Chris Wood as well. Don't forget.
Well, yeah. So you're adding that on that, and then you're going, well, we could be looking at the fact that we bought 5 really class players in, and got a net spend of maybe 80 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's a non-brainer, isn't it? It's a no. But I mean, the thing is, there's been a lot of talk about this week. Everything I've looked at when I've been away has been on about McTominay.
So you think
there's obviously something there, or someone's at least making a lot of noise about it?
So if someone said, "Look, for 80 million, you'll have a side that'll include Kieran Tierney, Yuri Tielemans, James Maddison, Marcus Thuram, and Moussa Diaby," you'd go, "What are you drinking and what are you smoking?"
Yeah,
it's exactly. These sort of things you're looking at. Now, like I said, I do think, I think there's a point in which you're seeing that. Would someone like a Moussa Diaby come to Newcastle if we're not in the top 4? Probably not. Tierney may still, because that's one way you might look and go, well, I'm getting game time. So that's could be a realistic option. Marcus Thuram may not, because I think there'd be Champions League clubs looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
So it is those things. I think there is probably a Champions League list, a Europa League list, and a Europa Conference League list.
Yeah. And McTominay is on that Champions League list because, like you said, because he's played in it probably. So
well, no, I think that makes
sense. Yeah, I mean, he's got European experience probably more than anybody in our squad.
Yeah, I actually think he's, like I said, I think kind of the opposite in a way. I think he's on a list for if we don't make Europe. I genuinely do. I think it's like they'll have their targets in mind for whether they finish, I think, in the Champions League or the Europa League or the Conference League or nothing. Because I think the Conference League doesn't attract any players. It doesn't really heighten your ability to attract players at all. The Europa League does a little bit, and obviously the Champions League does a massive amount. And I think McTominay is probably on that last list. I think there'll be a short list for each one, depending on where we finish. And I just think he's probably reasonably high up on the list for if we, finish 7th or below. And for a club finishing, 7th to mid-table, he's a really good player.
Yeah.
But then you look at that and going, is he really someone that we'll want to be getting if we're finishing 7th and looking to finish higher than that? Because is he going to get us from 7th to 5th or 4th or whatever? Yeah, that's the question that you'd need to look at in that sense.
James Maddison will. That's simple as that. That's simple maths, isn't it? You spend that money on.
He also brings
Maddison over the line, then you're going to improve your more chance of place going higher.
And he also then brings a little bit of variety in terms of the set pieces aspect of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's a question. And this is an option. Yeah, if the option's between McTominay and James Ward-Prowse, who would you choose?
God, they're totally different players, aren't they? I mean, if we had Maddison, then we wouldn't need Prowse, would we? Because
it's an interesting one because I see, to my mind, Ward-Prowse is kind of a number 8.
Yeah,
we've got a lot of number 8, so we don't really need one. But he is very good, whereas we desperately need a number 6, which Scott McTominay allegedly is. Although I still think he's better as an 8, but I just don't think he's that good. I think I can't remember if I've mentioned this before. I think I've said it on the pod before or on one of these shows before. James Ward-Prowse is an excellent footballer born in the wrong era. Like if he was playing football in the 90s, he would go right to the top. But his style of play doesn't sort of suit the modern game anymore.
But could Ward-Prowse play as a number 6? Like more so than McTominay?
Yeah.
Because you're saying that his is like the old-fashioned like style, but that's what you need. That's what you'd want in a number 6.
That's true. That's true.
So if you think you've got, he's sitting there as the number 6, being able to do the defensive work, but still being able to pass the balls. And then when the free kicks come in, come on, James,
yeah. And again, I mean, you wouldn't have the 20% Manchester United tax on that, so he would be a better option for me because I don't think he costs as much.
We'd basically have the two best free kick takers in the Premier League and have to use
yeah. And then get Madison to have 3 of them. I mean,
just don't put him on
the ball, won't they?
Just don't put him on penalties. Although he did score the last one.
That's true, yeah. Poor old Spurs. We're back in Champions League spots, aren't we now? So
jury's out then on McTominay, yeah.
I would think so. Obviously, we have talked in terms of the top 4 chances. We keep on doing this because we lose a couple of games and we're like, oh, we're not going to get top 4.
Yeah.
What's your feelings now that we seem to have gotten rid of it? Yeah, the fact is we still haven't lost that many games yet. It's just that we're drawing them.
Yeah.
A hard-fought game against Wolves, which we probably deserved it, and I think the Forest game we definitely deserved that win because we were battering them. We just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Yeah. Do you think the result on Sunday will give us the answer if we'll finish in the top 4 or not?
I think it'll certainly send out a bit of a shockwave to everyone around us. It's not over if we don't win on Sunday by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, I was speaking to a friend of mine who's a Spurs fan last week, and he was just like, "Oh, someone put us out of our bloody misery because they just are a shambles at the moment." He was saying, and that was before Conte went, which everyone knew was going to happen, and they just can't get themselves together. I mean, really, Liverpool are now are the ones I'm looking over my shoulder at because Spurs are just as unpredictable as us, really.
I'd say Brighton.
Yeah, I just think we just got a bit more than Brighton. To be fair, I think we just have a bit more. I can't see it. I honestly can't see Brighton doing it. I think they'll push us. I think Brighton, Brentford are going to, certainly going to be there or thereabouts. But I think it is between Spurs and Liverpool. But are Spurs not due their bottle period? Well, they're doing it now. That's what my mate was saying. They're doing it now. They're doing the usual Spurs. We'd like this, but we're going to derail ourselves by just. I mean,
if you think my understanding is that we face, I think if we beat Man U, we go above them.
We do.
Yeah.
On goal difference, we'll go 3rd on goal difference, level on 50 points with Man United. Spurs don't play until the Monday.
Yeah. I mean, we've got, as you were saying before, we've got Spurs to come at home. We've got Arsenal at home. We've got Brighton still to come at home, which is a game, obviously, that got... So we're playing everyone around us. So it's all in our hands, really. I think the key really is.
The key thing for me is if you look at the fixtures, we've played everyone in the top 6 away from home already.
Yeah.
So we have got hard games. We've got hard games, no doubt about it. But a lot of them are at home.
That's right. Spurs
and the other teams for us don't have that luxury in a way.
And if you think our home games, which we've got left, are Man U,
Spurs, Southampton,
Brighton, Arsenal, and Leicester.
Yeah. It's that is really big for us, especially the Brighton one.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
And the Spurs one as well, because they're still a decent sign. If they get their act together, then they certainly can do it. But it's going to be such a shame now if we don't make it.
But if you look at our away fixtures, West Ham, Brentford, Aston Villa, Everton, Leeds United, Chelsea.
It's not that bad,
Yeah, a couple of teams scrapping for their lives by then, and we all know what a team who is scrapping for their lives can be like. After
No,
being
but
in
you are
it for
looking at it and
14
you are
years, but-
thinking, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
As
I
an
mean,
away as an away game, because come the Chelsea game, it might, that's the last game of this season. So
I fancy us against Chelsea anyway.
Yeah.
It's just shite.
but you just look at that and yeah. We've got, and this is the thing, we're 2 points behind Spurs, but we've got 2 games in hand on them.
Yeah.
So we'll play. Black Rambles just said, just while we're looking at it, but
I agree with that.
The trickiest away game. That was my thought as well, because they're really
Any game in London's
tough.
a tricky away game.
The thing with Brentford is they've got this looming question mark over them, this massive Ivan Toney shaped question mark of are they ever going to get round to giving him a ban, and when will it be?
Yeah.
Before the Newcastle game.
Well, ideally. I mean, there is a simplistic way about looking at this race for the top 4. You kind of go through all the teams and you go, right, okay, who are we up against? Man United, okay, yeah, solid pedigree. They're probably going to make the top 4, whether that's 3rd or 4th. Spurs are imploding. Chelsea have imploded. Liverpool are having their worst run of form that I can remember for a very long time. Brentford have got the Ivan Toney problem. Fulham have fucked themselves with the Mitrovic saga. And then you've got Brighton, who are the only other team really
that have got
their shit together apart from us.
Well, Brighton on level on points with Liverpool, but
Liverpool
played a game less.
Yeah.
But you look at it and you just think we're 2 points behind Spurs. But come next weekend when we're away to Brentford, we could be 4 points ahead of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I mean about Brighton and Brentford. I can see is pulling away from them. I mean, it's nip and tuck. It always is.
The thing is, we've got 3 games coming up in a week, basically, and we're going to know an awful lot more after those 3 games.
Well, that's the thing, because it's
But it's not just our fixtures, by the way. Like, look at Liverpool's fixtures. It's
I mean, I don't know who else Brighton have got. So without, I mean, I don't know who they play. So
I know who Liverpool play tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Man
City. They've got City, Liverpool, and Chelsea in a row in a week.
Yeah,
that's going to define whether they've got a top 4 race or not.
So Liverpool are playing themselves.
Sorry. They're playing City, Chelsea, and what was the other one? Arsenal in a week.
Yeah.
City's a difficult one. Arsenal's a difficult one. Chelsea.
Who knows?
It depends who turns up.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
What team he puts out.
But if you think about it, that's their week. We all know what our week is with our fixtures in a week. You're going to know it's not just our games I'm thinking about when I say we're going to know an awful lot more in a week's time, because Liverpool theoretically could be well in with a chance of getting in the top 4, or they could be well out of it, or anything in between. So, 8 days from now, I think the picture will become a bit clearer, to say the least.
Yeah, getting to
the Chelsea game is at Stamford Bridge, so that might be an option for them. The other games being played on the Tuesday is Bournemouth, Brighton, Leeds, Forest, and Leicester Villa. So not. You could look at it and think, well, let's hope.
We're never going to have a chance of getting to Champions League this year, considering where we are as a club. And thanks to Liverpool and Tottenham and Chelsea all trying to derail themselves. Considering where we are right now with the squad we've got, this is a fantastic opportunity that that we're all hoping we'll get.
Next year will be harder.
Then also look, obviously we play on the Wednesday, and Man U do as well. Man U play Brentford at Old Trafford. Now that could be
an interesting one. We all know what happened last time them two played.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But that could be a good one, because you're looking at it and you're thinking, if Brentford could nick anything from there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a long way to go yet.
There's a long way to go, but
it's technically only the end of February, isn't it?
We're then also looking at on the Monday
season.
Spurs play Everton at Goodison, and I just think an Everton side at Goodison.
Yeah.
Under Sean Dyche.
Yeah, he'll be well up for that.
That's
He will smell blood with that one. He's good like that.
It's not the kind of game you want if you haven't got a bit of fight about you. And if there's one thing that Spurs lack, yeah, exactly. If there's one thing Spurs lack in abundance, it's fight.
And if Richarlison's fit, I think that might be a game that he doesn't necessarily
fancy.
So
yeah.
You are looking at that and you are going, yeah.
If he starts, he will not finish. Now he will not be on either because he's going to get crocked or he'll get sent off. He will not finish 90 minutes. That guy, either way.
There's temperaments all over the shop as well.
Yeah,
he'll be getting in his head.
He's more up and down than a flipping, Icelandic glacier. He just really is. You don't know what you're going to get with him. So he's, mercurial. I think is what if you want to be nice about him.
That's the generous. Yeah,
he's so up and down. So that is a really good game, though.
Here's a question for you: come the Spurs game, which is on the 23rd of April, my birthday. Thank you, Sky. I'm going to take a card. Bonus my birthday. Can have you?
Yeah.
I think I need to. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Even a week's wages, to be fair, Bruno, I'll take that. Yeah, either or.
Yeah.
Cost of living. Yeah.
Yeah, cost of living. Yeah.
But yeah, come that. Do you think come the Spurs game, we'll know more, or do you think we'll have a clear understanding of whether or not we're going to finish in the top 4?
I can see it just being like it is now. I was saying to Mark last time we met up, this season has either been the greatest Premier League season ever or it's been the biggest letdown from quite a lot of teams. I can't decide because no one seems to be able to get everyone. We've got have a couple of games where we don't win, and then we win a couple of games, and everyone seems to be like that at the moment. I don't think so. I don't think we're still going to be in that situation.
Yeah. No, I don't necessarily think it's maybe the greatest, but it's been one of the most entertaining. Yeah,
unpredictable.
But you look at that, in terms of the table, there's no one that's not playing for anything.
Yeah.
From let's say 11th down, you're playing for survival. From 10th up, you could be playing for European football.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I mean.
There's no sort of like middle ground. We're sitting 11th, we're safe, but we're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, what we would have getting to be in the relegation fight this year, we would have been feeling a lot better, wouldn't we? I mean, it's been a very, very unpredictable year. More than
it's from 8 teams, isn't it, that could go down? And
it really is. I mean,
I saw from
Everton.
God, I hope so. I mean,
on the back of that, but just on the back of that though, if Southampton go down.
Yes.
Yeah.
James Ward-Prowse probably wouldn't want to play in the Championship. He'd be going, well, no, I want to come and play in the Premier League. Yeah,
the
England chances.
They've actually got a few decent young players that I would like to see in a Newcastle shirt. They're just the problem with Southampton is not necessarily a lack of talent. It's a lack of
experience.
Yeah, they've got so many. There's a lot of young, promising players all cobbled together, plus James Ward-Prowse and Theo Walcott. And the less said about the latter, the better, really. But
just one other name that's just come to my mind with regards to when we're looking at defensive midfielders. Would you go in for a cheeky 35-40 million bid for Calvin Phillips?
I think we missed a trick last year, really. I mean, we weren't in that position where we.
Because he's not. He
ain't going to come to us.
Well, no, he's not really playing. But if we're in, let's say, top 5, it's a good option because I really rated him before he went there. I was like, he's one heck of a player. Yeah, so it's an option that you look at, and he's probably younger than Tielemans, probably less injury prone.
I was disappointed when he went to Man City, not just because we didn't get him, but I just thought, well, that's his career over. Yeah. Unless he gets out quick. He needs to get out quick, otherwise he's going to become another Jack Rodwell or something.
Yeah, I can't see it. I can just see him staying there another year, thinking I've got to give this a proper go, similar as that. So I can't see him going anywhere. But I would prefer him over McTominay any day of the week.
Yeah.
Well, if they're both available for 40 million, then
Mark, absolutely no brainer.
Yeah,
no
again,
brainer.
I'll take. Yeah, let's shake on it now. I'll have that. Thank you very much.
right. So what we'll do is we'll finish off because I'm just wary of the time.
Yeah.
I don't really want to. I don't really want to speak about the Man U side, but I'm going to have to. Ten Hag's playing mind games with her again. I think with Rashford.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's playing. He's playing. Sabitz is playing. I'm calling it now.
Unfortunately, Casemiro's not because he likes to get sent off.
What a shame. And then he's doing the same, isn't he, with Gordon? No, he might be fit.
Yeah.
He's been in training, of course, he's fit.
Yeah.
I love it. Wouldn't you just love it though when you say, "Oh yeah, Mickey's out for another 4 weeks"? Bang, starting lineup. Mickey's.
Yeah, that's what Eddie's. We've all got used to this now, and where Eddie lies.
Well, I don't think he'd lie to that aspect of it. I'd be surprised if he didn't keep Jacob Murphy in the lineup.
I think it'd be really harsh to drop him, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but like against Forest, it was like it's the only time I've been excited whenever Jacob Murphy got on the ball because he was just whipping balls in. He wasn't fannying around. It was like, yeah, I'm just going to be an old school winger. I'm going to get half a yard on me man, and I'm going to whip the ball into the box. You can't tell me that's not good news for us when Alex Isak's in form.
Exactly. Could you see? We've talked about Man U. I can't really be bothered to talk about them anymore. Rashford's going to play.
30 seconds was long enough.
Casemiro's in. Yeah, is banned. Christian Eriksen.
I'll tell you what. I've got a bit of a way where we can sort of talk about Man United without talking about them because I quite like to get your lads' opinion on this. Right. I was thinking today sort of a combined Newcastle and Man United 11 because in years gone by, like basically very few of our players would have ever gotten in. Let's be honest. And now that we're class, it's like, oh my God, it's an actual conversation now. Added in my head, a combined Man United Newcastle 11 at the moment.
I'm just going to get the last Man U.
Well, if you include Casemiro, which I realise obviously he can't play in this game, but if you include him as an option, even with Casemiro as an option, my first choice combined 11 for Newcastle Man United contains 6 Newcastle players and 5 Man United players, which surprised me and sort of just made me realise, fucking hell, yeah, we really need to go for this. We really need to go for this on Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, I can remember my 11. So it was Pope in goal, Trippier right back, Shaw at left back.
Right. Let's just go from it now. So in goal, Pope or De Gea?
It's got to be Pope.
It's got to be Pope. Not a lot between them.
Not even close.
Trippier or Wan-Bissaka?
Trippier.
Trips all day long, forever and a day.
This one's going to be fun. Fabian Schär, Harry Maguire.
Schär.
Varane.
That wasn't the option.
That doesn't matter. My 2 centre backs are Varane and Botman.
Right. Okay. So, well, that answers the question of Lisandro Martinez or Botman.
Botman.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw or Dan Burn / Matt Target.
Luke Shaw.
Matty Target.
Oh, so see,
Shaw's been phenomenal this season.
I'll probably go with Luke Shaw. So that's Luke Shaw in at left back.
Mm-hmm.
Scott McTominay or Sean Longstaff.
Neither of them get in my midfield.
I'm going.
Sean, obviously being a local lad.
Right. Here's the better way to approach the midfield, Mark, because 2 of them are no-brainers, right? Casemiro gets in, and so does Bruno.
Mm-hmm.
This was the next option: Bruno Fernandes or Bruno Guimaraes.
They both get in my start 11.
I wouldn't have Fernandes in the ground.
But no, because this isn't it. Yeah, we're not. This is the one. Yeah, which we're doing. Bruno Fernandes or Bruno Guimaraes.
That's all right.
Our Bruno, yeah.
Right. Casemiro or Joe Willock?
Casemiro,
yeah.
Great choice between two Brazilians there, though. Casemiro and Williquinho.
Yeah, Williquinho. He is known as Williquinho now.
Jadon Sancho or Miguel Almiron?
Almiron, based
Yeah,
on
Almiron
form.
after this season. Yeah, absolutely.
This is a freaking difficult one. Marcus Rashford or Joe Linton, Anthony Gordon, ASM?
Rashford
right now, yeah.
Wout Weghorst or Alexander Isak?
Isak, even if he hasn't scored in the last couple of games.
So if we're looking at it, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Newcastle players.
Yeah, sounds about
mine's 6, but either way, it's a majority.
Yeah.
And you sort of think, well, hang on a minute. When's the last time you've been able to say that? And to be honest, I think most common sense neutrals would pick something reasonably similar as well. So it's not just us being biased.
Even when you look at the bench, you're going Diogo Dalot. Woody, yeah, he's probably the other option. Tyrell Malacia, he's good, but still not there. Lindelof,
no.
Fred, yeah.
The one option that we haven't named that could get in for Man United because he's injured at the moment would be Christian Eriksen.
Yeah,
I'd have him all day long.
Yeah.
Anthony?
No.
Let me think. No.
So would you say Eriksen over? Well, that's the option. Because if you're going to play Casemiro, would you then not need?
I need a number 10 because for me, Casemiro is your 6, Bruno Guimaraes is my 8, and then the number 10. I picked Bruno Fernandes on the basis of he's better than anything we've got. But then there's also the argument of could you just play two attacking number 8s instead?
Yeah,
and then you could take Bruno Fernandes out and put in someone else like an Eriksen or even a Joe Linton.
Joe Willock.
Or a Joe Willock.
And this is my thing. If I'm judging Joe Willock off the last 2 games, I'd want him starting because I think he's been
absolutely
phenomenal. Like,
yeah. Are you putting Joe Willock up against Fernandes then? Is that what you say? That was a choice? Because if it's a choice of
no, it was Casemiro and Joe Willock.
All right, yeah. Because Fernandes doesn't work hard at all, whereas Joe Willock, he'll run all day. So the point is, we are considering how far we've come. We're not that far away from them.
No, but look,
a cup. They'll go, oh well, a cup final away from them. Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to say if we finish 6th or above, it's still been a phenomenal season for us.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Because we've jumped so far from where we've come, and let's not have a disappointment that we haven't got Champions League football. Because I'm so proud of every single person at the club.
Yeah,
including the fan base. Yeah, to what we've done. We've been to a cup final for fuck's sake. Yeah. The first time we've been to Wembley for a cup final in this millennium.
Yep. Yeah, and that's not the last.
So, but it's like people are going, "Oh, we're lost." Yeah, no, but this is the first one. Yeah, we need to. Yeah, we'll get there again.
We're all going to be disappointed if we don't get the Champions League, aren't we? But like you said, 6th place is still nothing to be.
Yeah, but no one was expecting Champions League at the beginning of the season.
Well, no one's expecting 6. You would, if you told me anything above 7th, I would have said, "Oh, all right. I think you should go down, sit down somewhere with a milky tea."
Yeah, we were thinking anywhere between.
Before you say anything else.
I know we were going at the start of the season anywhere between 10th and 7th. Yeah, would be buzzing.
Exactly. If you said, "Oh no, we'll be better than 7th," I'll be like, "Oh, okay."
I had us down as 7th, and I remember a lot of people saying to me, "Ooh, really?" Ooh, and so 7th was kind of on the optimistic scale. So yes, if we finish 6th, that is a good season.
And Eddie Howe went, never mind.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I think because of the way the season's gone, yes, if we don't finish in the top 4, we will naturally feel a little bit disappointed. That's normal. That's normal because of how the season's gone. But at the same time, I think everybody understands that if we finish 5th or 6th, that is.
Hey, well,
I was going to say it's not a failure. It's not just not a failure; it's a great achievement.
Theoretically,
it's a nice consolation prize.
If you look at it as
go on then. I guess we'll. All right.
And look at it as progression. It means we're going to absolutely piss the title next year.
That is how.
So look at Arsenal. They've done it this year. So
plus in the Europa League,
we're going to fucking run away with the bastard. So
plus the Europa League, we might get to places like Portugal, maybe Greece.
Yeah.
Is there any teams in Bulgaria? Cheap drink. Croatia.
There's going to be there's always going to be there's always good teams around. And good places to go. So we need it. We
need a Swedish team in the Europa League. So for a match can see them.
So we just invade. We can just invade.
Who qualifies for the Europa League in Sweden? It's like IFK Gothenburg or something.
Yeah, I was going to say
Malmo.
Yeah. Malmo's basically Denmark, mind. It's like I've been to Malmo.
Yeah, but
you fly into Denmark to get there.
But Malmo was also managed by an ex-Newcastle United striker.
Which one was that?
The man who's currently at Blackburn Rovers.
Oh, Thomason.
Jon Dahl Tomasson.
I've got a quick question for you as well before we go. We did have an Icelandic footballer, didn't we, play for us? Do you remember that young lad? Was he called? I want to call
Bjarni
Gudjonsson.
Bjarni Gudjonsson.
Yeah. I thought so. That's all right.
He never actually kicked a ball for us in the first 15 minutes.
No.
And I believe he spent most of his career at Coventry.
Yeah, I just had it on my mind because I've been there this week. So I was.
So what did you do? Be sent to Coventry? Right, let's head and look at never mind the combined 11. Let's look at the Newcastle United 11.
Yeah.
I think it's a certainty. Nick Pope starts in goal.
Yeah.
I think the back four is probably unchanged.
Yep.
So Trippier, Shaw, Botman, Burn.
Yep.
Midfield, does that stay unchanged?
No, I think obviously Big Joe come in, won't he?
Well, no, see, this is where I was looking at it in that, and I think the midfield will stay the same. But given the deficiencies with Dan Burn, and given the fact that St. Maximin didn't really do much, that you might see us going back to when Joe Linton played on the left wing. Do you know where it was like the swap where it was Joe Willock and Joe Linton?
The interchange.
Go back to that. So I actually think
what I would have put,
I think that might be probably the only change that we may see.
Yes,
I agree. I think that's what Eddie Howe. I think that's what Eddie Howe will do. I personally would play ASM in this game, but I think that's what Eddie Howe will do.
Yeah, I think Eddie will do that. Absolutely, 100%. I'll be shocked if he doesn't.
I'd prefer Eddie Howe. I'd prefer Eddie Howe to bring ASM on as a sub. Because you imagine bringing. Do you know? I'm not being funny, but actually, if I'm judging off the Forest game, I'd put Elliot Anderson on before ASM.
Yeah, he did talk about him in the press conference today.
I just think ASM is one of those players where you can't judge how well he's going to play based on the last game. He could play well. He could have played really well in the last game and then be absolutely.
He ripped Anthony, and he got basically they had to substitute Anthony in the cup final at half time because ASM was just absolutely just.
But you just think though, in terms of let's say this game, if you've got ASM, Elliot Anderson, Anthony Gordon, Callum Wilson, all options to bring off the bench. If you're chasing the game, we've
never really had that many attacking options off the bench this season.
Exactly, and you look at that and you're thinking, well, great, if Jacob Murphy starts to tire, whack on Gordon. If Joe Linton starts to tire, or someone else in the midfield, and Joe Linton drops into there, ASM goes in there. If you need to, let's say, take Joe Willock off because he's getting knackered, you've got Elliot Anderson. Yeah, so in terms of that, you've got options and you're going, decent. It's obviously then you look at the back and you're going, well, we've got Jamal Lascelles if anything happens. You've then Matty Targett, though I'm not too bothered about, so that's an option there. But you're looking at that and you're going, for once, we've actually got in this a decent bench.
Yes.
In terms of that.
And we've had our little break in between, which did wonders for us last year. So let's hope that's going to work again. So,
well, as he said, it's worked wonders because it's allowed like Callum Wilson and DSM, who players who've had niggles, and that Fab Shaw as well. He'd mentioned it's allowed them to get over those niggles in that sense. It's helped, and it's probably helped in the fact that Anthony Gordon's been able to heal in that sense. So, we've now got him back. It's 2 weeks worth of healing for Miggy. I know he said 3 to 4 weeks for him.
Yeah.
It's just to be honest, it's nice thinking that we can play Jacob Murphy and not be going come back, Miggy, come back.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's like who knows?
6 months ago would have been going, what, Jacob? No. What are you talking about?
Like I said, he doesn't do everything right, but then again, neither does Miggy.
No. But, I mean, he might not. Let's be honest, he might not have a great game, but he's
I think he's a better crosser.
100%. I think you're right, Mark, and no one else really does that for us at the moment in our squad, and that's sometimes because we play the inverted wingers. But with some of the players as well, it's just because their crossing isn't like particularly great. ASM, I'm looking at you. So it's like he does offer something a bit different that none of our other players do. And he's he's not the most talented footballer in the world. We all know that, but he's hit a little bit of form. If he can carry that on and have a bit of a purple patch, then that's all the more benefit for us in our top 4 push. So that's what I'm hoping for. Hope he hits a little bit of a purple patch.
Yeah, look up Maxi. That's all I'll say. Just once in a while, please.
To be honest, I'm just hoping that the referees in this game know the rules of the game.
No, well, let's not. We could
well,
spend
Mark,
2 hours talking about that, couldn't we?
You're setting yourself up for disappointment there. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, exactly. Let's not ask for too many miracles, eh? Because VAR works fine. It's just the people who run it don't. That's the end of that subject.
Well, like I said, it's just the fact that both VAR and the referee both looked at that and didn't think that it was a deliberate play of the ball.
Yeah.
This is how bad the referees are. The referees are so bad that they've convinced me, somebody who has like defended VAR to the hilt, that I think we should now just get rid of it.
But VAR works fine. It's the people who run it who don't know what they're doing.
I agree.
The system works fine. It's just.
But if you imagine having an ex-pro alongside them and going, I can tell you for certainty that he was deliberately playing that ball, because they know the movement of a player. So the referees might not necessarily know that. So if you've got an ex-professional who can go in and say, look, if I can just interrupt to help clear this up, I can tell you for certainty that he was deliberately playing that ball. Then that goes away because the video assistant referee is going, okay,
but a referee should know that anyway.
No, I know, but
I know what you're saying, but a referee should know that anyway. I mean, they must watch the game. I mean,
they'll watch it, but
I don't.
The question is, do you not
never played the game? All the problems that we've had. Any normal person who goes to games, watch more than 24 games a year, would have spotted those mistakes, simple as that, as soon as they came on. Doesn't matter if you're an ex-player. You would have. We all saw it there, and all that VAR's done is shown them how bad they are.
I will say the referee did redeem himself because he gave the penalty.
Yeah, but, I mean, if he'd missed that,
I'm going to say that
now. Just stop the league now, and let's just. Ridiculous.
He did better than me because I didn't see that the first time round on the TV. It wasn't until the replays come.
Saying he got the penalty. Saying he's got the penalty right. It's like saying, well, you nearly run 2 pensioners over, but you only ran 1 over. So, but that's good. We'll take that into consideration. And it's just they're just not fit for it. It's similar as that. The VAR has just shown this that the problems that have always been there is that they don't.
Can we please hope for some more Kieran Trippier shithousery?
Yes,
Sunday, please.
Shithousery. Our shithousery this year. If it was a league, we would be at the top of it. That was class.
Was that was class. That saved as a screensaver. It's just like,
oh yeah, yes. I've got that somewhere. Someone sent me it.
I was like, yes, please. It was
had everyone.
Genius.
It had Eddie, didn't it, as well? I know we've talked about this.
It had the referee. If you watch the highlights again, the referee takes takes like a double take when you see Trippier.
Yeah, when he goes, hang on, are you not taking it then? No, I'm going back here. See you later.
No,
Yeah, it was brilliant, and
it was. And can we just also give congratulations to Max's fellow countryman Alexander Isak, who won the Player of the Month award, and I'm going to say richly deserved because
absolutely
he's come in and looked.
Imagine if he'd been fit this year for most of this year rather than what?
And I would have been top
games now.
Would have been top.
He could have been the difference. I mean, he's got so much talent. We've got so much more to come from him. It's fantastic.
And he's young. Yeah, that's what
I mean. It's 2022. I mean,
yeah, Bruno's young, Botman's young. Yeah, Sean Longstaff's still youngish. Joe Willock's young. Yeah, Gordon's young. So yeah, we've got some. Yeah, this is what we need.
We need, bright.
Yeah, get the youth in. Yeah, to be honest, this was like the previous owner strategy of getting young players in, but the problem is he was getting crap young players in.
He was getting the scouts the scouts like fourth and fifth choice on the list rather than the number one young prospect. You
just used to get the list and turn it upside down. There you are. That's who you should be looking at. So
Manu Riviere, get yourself in, son.
Exactly. And when we did undermine the gem, of course we sold him.
Yes,
so there
absolutely.
You go. So, but that's all gone now. That's dead, thankfully.
And let's end this with what we always love. What's your predictions?
5-0 to us. It's going to be one. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's got to be on it. Revenge. Because you remember that season we played them in the Charity Shield.
Is it going to be a Botman chip like of Albert?
You've just said it. There you are.
I would love that.
It's all set up for it. It's all set up for it because everyone's going about how great they are and blah, blah,
I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that.
We're just going to go.
If that happens, Michael, I will run the perimeter of the pitch.
No, don't do that.
If that happens,
don't do that.
If that happens, I'm in trouble.
Please don't do that.
If that happens, I'm in trouble because I'm supposed to be going out after the game with some pals, and
it's just made tonight, then, isn't it?
We've got 100. We've got 100 quid behind the bar from a pub quiz win where we're going.
Oh, well, that's go in like 5 seconds.
So if we go in and win 5-0, I'm going to be hammered, and I can't afford to be. I've got work on Monday.
And when you think about it, you're all thinking about it now. Everyone who's listening to this, you're all thinking about that. And you're thinking, yeah, there's a logic. There's something there. So yeah, that's why I'm going for a big win. Fuck it.
You're only saying that because you're not there this week.
Yeah, I will never go again if that prediction turns out to be true. I would sacrifice myself for those glories. So big win.
And Mark, what's your prediction?
My instinct was to say a 1-1, which actually I think wouldn't be a bad result, all things considered. But the chances there, we've got to bloody turn up this time. You know, the cup final, we weren't quite at it, and we've just got to turn up. They're Casemiro-less, which helps as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there is an opportunity there, but I just don't have the confidence to pick us out for a win. Unfortunately, too much scar tissue.
Can we ask Botman to get what he had over in Holland into the Man U hotel for just before the game?
I hope we've been taking DNA samples from him that we're just gonna spread it all over the away dressing room.
The one thing which I do think is important, and it's something, this is the call out to the fans. The fans need to be the 12th man for this game. That
100%.
To be honest, I think we will be because it's Do you remember the Liverpool sort of like one where we really wanted the revenge against them and that a few years ago? I think it's going to probably be I think it suits it better that it's a 4:30 kickoff.
Yeah,
later kickoff, bit more beer down the necks. Big
game. I am like that.
Same as a Sunday. I would rather it was a Saturday night kickoff.
Yeah,
but we'll take that.
Well, I don't because I had the Sunday off. I couldn't get the Saturday off, so I'm pleased it's a Sunday.
Oh,
plus, I'm off on the Monday, Tuesday. So if your prediction
comes
that's
what I mean.
I'll probably have just got. I'll probably have just got sorted, ready to go into work on the Wednesday.
Yeah. Big win coming. Come on, boys.
Aye, let's hope.
Well, it is. Yeah. As I said, I never do predictions. I will be making sure because that I do my routine. Will it be Metro Station is open again?
Whee! And life goes back to normal. Reality.
Exactly. I even turned down a corned beef pasty in Greg's today because I knew I'd have to have one on Sunday.
You have to have one on Sunday.
Saving yourself.
Exactly. I was like, no, that's Sunday. Yeah, well. and I know it's not only bad luck, but the last couple of times we've won, I've seen one magpie.
Oh.
And I saw one magpie today. Might have been Mickey out doing a bit of training.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
He's quite small, so you never know. But, yeah.
And
We'll
he's
take it.
pretty
We'll take
nippy.
anything. We take anything, and we do get the Carabao Cup, don't we? If we beat them on Sunday, that's fair, isn't it? I think
that's how I understand it.
Yeah, I think that's
how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, because isn't it done?
Just pass it on till it's your go now.
Isn't it like an aggregate? Yeah, it was 0-0 obviously at the home tie. We've had the 2-1 where
2-0.
it was 2-0.
Yeah.
So if we win, above
5-0,
then we've over the 3 aggregate games we've done it. You can't say that was the way it worked.
You see, Mancunians were still smiling about it.
Well, are they really Mancunians? I thought they were.
Going to say, what are you talking about City fans for?
Well, and they said that, not me. So, but yes, we're still happy. This is what it's like to be really happy.
I didn't hear one Mancunian accent down in London.
No, I don't think we did neither. We saw quite a few of them, but I don't think they were Mancunians.
Of course they weren't.
They weren't.
When I was seeing the Man U fans, we were going Snoop Billy B. What?
Just come round the corner.
But anyway, what we'll do is we'll wrap this up here. We'll have our fingers crossed for Sunday. Obviously, Michael can be our adjudicating verification. Watching the game. So what we see in this might not match up. He can go, no, it was definitely not that. And we'll be back on Tuesday. So enjoy the weekend and fingers crossed it'll be a happy start to your working week on Monday. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye now.